Hey guys, welcome. This is my what I ate in a day video, and before I begin I would like to remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. So I recorded a day in my weekday showing you simple recipes that I like to make. These are fairly quick to put together and I'd say they're pretty healthy as well, because as much as I love to cook and eat vegan comfort food, I do try to balance my meals, especially during the weekdays. That way I don't feel too guilty on the weekend when I do indulge in more processed foods, and that's just the balance that I find works best for me. So if you're interested in some of my go-to meals and snacks that I like to eat and make during the week, let's begin. To start off my morning, I'm gonna make a matcha latte. It's really simple to make. I must say that depending on my mood, I switch between coffee and matcha, but honestly, I really like the way matcha makes me feel, so it's been my go-to lately. I love that it gives me energy, especially in the morning when I'm trying to wake up. So matcha powder has lots of health benefits. It's rich in antioxidants. It helps enhance your mood and your concentration. I believe it also helps to detox the body. And my favorite way to drink it is in a latte. And this is how I like to make mine. In a little bowl, I add the matcha powder, then I pour in the warm water, and with my hand frother, I'm gonna mix them well for a few seconds until there are no more lumps. Also, I do like my drinks warm in the morning, so I heated up unsweetened almond milk, but if you prefer yours cold, you can skip this step and also use your favorite plant-based milk. And once again, I'm gonna go in with my hand frother and I'm gonna make it really frothy because I like my lattes with lots of foam. So I'm just gonna froth it up for a few more seconds. Now I'm gonna pour the matcha tea into my mug, and since matcha has an earthy taste to me, I like to sweeten it with a little bit of stevia or maple syrup. In this case, all I had was maple syrup, so that's what I stirred in. Then I poured in my milk, and that's it. This is my morning's pick-me-up, and I just love how it tastes. And if you're trying to cut back on coffee, this might actually be a really good substitute for you. A few hours have passed, and I'm now going to make a super easy snack with Medjool Dates. I don't get too hungry in the morning, so this is perfect for me because they're light and eating just a few of them make me feel full. And can I just tell you how much I love dates, especially Medjool Dates, because they're so soft. They really do taste like caramel. It's a guilt-free candy for me, except it's not candy, it's natural and it's really good for you. It gives you lots of energy. It also has a lot of fiber and it's a good source of minerals and vitamins. The way I like to make this snack is by cutting the date in half and then removing the pit that is inside. And once they're spread out like this, what I like to do is add peanut butter to each half. So I just fill them in with the peanut butter, and then I like to sprinkle pecans over all of them. And this is just so good. And both the peanut butter as well as the nuts, whichever nut you prefer to add, are healthy fats. They're full of nutrients and protein as well. So it's just the perfect little sweet. If you do decide to make it, let me know what you think of it. It is now noon, and lately I've been juicing, not every day, but I try to juice at least twice a week. I felt pretty guilty about not using my juicer that was just tucked away in one of my kitchen cabinets. So since then I've been trying to use it, and it's great because it's a realistic way to get all of your fruits and vegetables into your system. And I do like to switch it up with the fruits and vegetables that I juice with, but for the most part, these are my go-tos. I usually always add carrots, celery, ginger root, apples and pineapple for sweetness, also cucumber for freshness. I like to add beetroot for the color, and the beet leaf as well because it's edible and it's also full of nutrients. So these are pretty much my go-tos, and not in this image. I also had romaine lettuce leaves that I added. I like to make a big batch all at once because I like to store the other half of the juice in a mason jar. I place it in the fridge, and the following day it's fresh and it still tastes really good. That way it makes it easier for me to be consistent, because otherwise I would be too lazy to juice every day. I know that sounds bad, but it's the truth. And as far as the pulp from all the veggies, I like to use it for compost, but I'm thinking maybe I could save it and add it to soups or maybe even lasagna, somewhere where you can't really taste it, but I'm gonna get all the added fiber and nutrition from it. So yeah, what I'm doing here is just filling up my glass jars with the juice. I'm gonna drink the one to the left now, and the mason jar to the right, I'm just gonna place the lid over it and store it in the fridge to drink tomorrow. It's almost 2 in the afternoon. It's still too early for me to eat a bigger meal. So what better thing to eat than avocado toast? It's light and pretty healthy. I never feel guilty about eating avocado toast because avocados are another nutrient-dense fruit and it's just delicious. So of course, what you want to do when making avocado toast is toasting your nice vegan bread and then spreading avocado evenly over it. I usually spread half of an avocado per slice. And after that, I almost always add thin slices of onion, cucumber, and tomato. I also like to sprinkle everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's, as well as tapatio for spiciness. And this just hits the spot for me. This is so bomb. Like, I could eat this every day. It's so good to me. But yeah, so this is how I make my avocado toast. It's now the afternoon and I'm gonna make a simple chickpea tuna salad because it's easy and super tasty. Chickpeas are like the perfect vegan food as well because they are also a good source of protein, fiber, iron, they're gluten-free, and they have many other benefits. So yeah, the first thing I'm gonna do is drain my chickpeas and then I'm gonna place some of them into my food processor along with garlic, fresh squeezed lime juice, serrano pepper for spiciness, wedge of onion, and salt. I'm going to blend until it's smooth and creamy, and this is going to be the citrusy dressing that I'm going to pour over the chickpeas. But in the meantime, I'm going to set them aside. Now I'm going to add the remaining chickpeas into the food processor and pulse. You want to pulse until you get your desired consistency. I like mine right in the middle, not too mushy, but also I don't mind bigger pieces of chickpea. So something like this is like the texture I like, but it's definitely a preference thing. So what I'm going to do now is place them in a large mixing bowl. Now on to the vegetables. So ever since I was little, my go-to ingredients for tuna had always been lime juice and pico de gallo, which is a colorful trio of chopped tomatoes, onions, and cilantro. Also, this is optional, but I like to add minced serrano peppers for an added kick. And since then, things have changed. I no longer eat tuna or anything like that, but I don't feel like I'm missing out because all the flavors are in here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add some of the citrusy dressing into my chickpeas, and I'm gonna mix them in well. Then I'm gonna add all of the chopped vegetables, and I just love all the colors in here. As you may know, the more colorful your food is, the more nutrients that are going into your body, so that's really nice to know. And after I've incorporated the vegetables, I'm gonna add the remaining dressing, and as you can see, it's really creamy. So it's not only flavorful, but it's also really healthy and an excellent substitute for vegan mayo. Although I love vegan mayo, it's not the healthiest, so when I can, I substitute it without compromising the taste. But as always, it's a preference thing, so if you want your vegan tuna to be even creamier than this, you can always add vegan mayo to your taste. And this is it. This is pretty much how I make my tuna salad, and I'm actually adding a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder to it just because anytime I cook anything savory, I just add it because it's added flavor and it's just really good to me. Also, I like to enjoy my vegan tuna salad with chunks of avocado, and I know tostadas aren't the healthiest, but it tastes so good, so that's how I ate this. And I made enough for leftovers, so this was good for the next day. It is now almost 6 p.m. and I don't know about you guys, but I like to snack on something after my main meal. The chickpea tuna salad was very filling and delicious, but I'm in the mood for fresas con crema, which is strawberries with cream. It's a sweet dessert. So the first thing I did was rinse a few strawberries, then I sliced them. For added sweetness, I also sliced half of a banana, and in a small bowl, I'm gonna mix in plain vegan yogurt and I'm gonna sweeten it up with maple syrup. And that's it. I'm just gonna stir it up. Then I'm gonna combine the yogurt with the fruits, and as you can tell, it's already looking really good. It's super like creamy. Also, I'm gonna sprinkle chia seeds because they add a nice crunch and they're a good source of omega-3 fatty acids and other nutrients. So yeah, I think this is a pretty healthy, sweet snack, which by the way I shared. I didn't eat all of it on my own, but it was delicious nonetheless. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this What I Ate in a Day. I had fun filming it as always. Thank you so much for watching.